Today, I'm going to take you to a car that hopefully, if you can remember that far back, will help you relive the days of your use. I know you love these because I know you've had, I think, 2. I've never had one, but I've always wanted to buy one. It's a German thoroughbred, soft top, rear-engined.
A Trekker.
It is.
It is a Trekker. Excellent.
In the 1960s, the West German government needed a new lightweight military vehicle. Enter the VW Type 181, known in the UK as the Trekker. Based around a modified Beetle platform, the soft-top Trekker featured long travel suspension, tough corrugated bodywork, and removable canvas windows. It sold well to armies around the world, but the Trekker also proved popular with civilians, not least in the US, where it was given a catchy new name.
There's a crazy new thing from Volkswagen.
Very few right-hand drive Trekkers were even built, meaning most cars in the UK are imports. But even those are few and far between, and that has led to a surge in prices.
Minters of these can be 25 to 30 grand now. If you've got a stupidly nice one.
Well, how much is this thing then?
12.5 grand.
12.5 grand?
Yeah. It's had a bit of bodywork, it's had all the suspension and floor pans done, engine's been refreshed. So I think it could be a good car.
I think they're one of those cars that once you've had one and driven one, it's the sort of car you want to keep for a long time because you just have an awful lot of fun with it.
The boys are on their way to meet collector Glenn Bath, who's recently developed a taste for cars that are more Detroit than Doncaster.
I've owned a ridiculous amount of cars, but I'm getting into the American ones a lot more now. The sale of the Trekker is simply just to carry on with the Charger. I want to take that to the next level, and unfortunately you can't own them all.
I think we are down here, mate, on...
Whee,
there you go. Oh, it's got a Charger.
Oh, that is an excellent 2-car garage.
It really is, isn't it? Look at that. Hello, Glenn.
Morning. Nice to meet you.
I love this, but 1968 Charger. Oh, this is one of my ultimate dream cars. You can keep your Ferrari, you can keep your Lamborghini. I think I'd rather have this. There's always a debate amongst car enthusiasts, what is the perfect 2-car garage? Well, we've rolled up today at Glenn's house. I think he might have it. There is our car, our VW Trekker. Next to that, 1968 Dodge Charger on my bucket list of cars, the very top.
Right then, this is what we've actually come to have a look at.
Wow, this is lovely.
It sits better than it looks in the photos. I mean, that, to me, is stamped perfect, isn't it?
Oh, it's just such a great-looking car, isn't it?
The simplicity in it is brilliant. And there's no lining in the doors. There's no winders, no interior panels. The windscreen just folds flat. It's a brilliant piece of design. Utilitarian, but charming as well. It looks happy, doesn't it? It looks like a fun car to be around in. It's just the nuts. I love it. I've had 2. I had a 181, which is a left-hand drive one. Then I had a very, very rare 182 right-hand drive. They only made a few. I stupidly sold it, but we're now... That was 28 years ago. 28 years ago I had that car. Insane. I think I paid £900 for it. God.
Glenn's Trekker is an import, and over the last 9 months, he spent thousands restoring the bodywork and overhauling the running gear.
Very happy. I really like it. I really like how straight it is, and I really like what's been done so far.
While much of the hard work has been done, the car is an unfinished project.
It's got 4 screens in various states of repair. I think we'll have to get those made again.
With the front seats missing, it can't be driven. And then there's the suspension, which has been lowered to give the car a stance that isn't to everyone's taste.
It's too low.
Have I walked into an old people's home?
Mate, look at it.
It looks ace.
It doesn't look... It looks ace if you're 18 or 25, but... I mean, really?
The air-cooled Volkswagen scene in particular is known for lowering everything. We call it stance, basically. It's taking the car from its stock ride height, winding it down to the floor. They do handle a bit better if they're lower to the ground. But the main thing is, in this scene, in this air-cooled Volkswagen scene, the lower you go, the cooler you are. So you think it sits brilliantly?
No, it looks...
It's got cool wheels on.
It looks stupid.
It does not. This car's got an aftermarket front suspension setup on, which is actually very cool. Now, you can't get the original parts that easily. if you do the second-hand or refurbished. So I would be a massive fan of keeping with what we've got. People will want that setup. I say we leave it and save probably £1,000.
Refitting the original suspension isn't the only item on Drew's hit list, though.
I'm not keen on the colour. When I get that 2-second freeze of his face, he's just thinking, he's swearing at me.
Right.
Mentally, I can feel it.
Yeah.
But the colour's wrong, mate.
Don't forget, you've got to do inside. Painting in there is not a fun job.
Yeah.
It really isn't. Painting under bonnet is not a fun job. To colour change this is £4,000.
No, it's...
Yes, it is.
It's only half a car. There's no interior to speak of at all, right? Flat it down, paint it. It's not a big job.
I just think a really nice hood, just a little bit of tidy in a couple of places, some lovely seats, really nice wheel. I agree, come up a tiny bit just to make it more usable. But that's all you need to do.
I don't agree. We need to change its attitude completely. That car is a fun convertible for the family. That's what it needs to go back to. So it needs to be a really nice colour, it needs to have proper suspension on it that actually works. It doesn't need those wheels on it, it needs something really simple and a very basic washout interior. I'm trying to think, right, who's going to buy this car?
I don't think it's a 65-year-old man from North
car.
Wales that I'm aiming this car for.
It needs to be brought back into what it was for in the first place, which is a fun soft top.
Looking at this car, the easiest thing to do would just be to take what's there. We would make a fortune in a very short space of time. Too easy for my little Welsh friend who wants to paint it, change the interior, change the wheels, change the suspension, spend probably the thick end of 5 figures, which is my profit gone. Glenn, would you excuse us? We're going to have a little chat.
Certainly.
Thanks,
Or
mate.
an argument.
It's not an argument, a chat.
Let me tell you the error of your ways. OK. Do you know what? I'm glad we can't test drive it, because I don't want to be seen in it looking like that.
I think that's awesome.
Seriously.
I think that car, as it stands, with a bit of a tidy, could give us a very good profit. But you want to go all in, change everything.
Yeah.
Which I think could give us less profit for way more work. But if that's what you want to do, on your head be it.
OK. So you're agreeing with me completely?
Well, I love it. He's been miserable, as always.
I'm not being miserable, I'm being realistic.
But it will help this negotiation.
Yeah. £7,000.
Don't be rude.
I'm not being that's what I think it's worth.
Make a nice
I'll be
offer.
nice.
It's a nice car with lots of good bits. It's really solid.
I think it will 10,000 buy it.
No.
No.
Shall we say 11.5 grand, Glenn?
Can we say 10.5?
Shush.
Don't
I'm
do
trying to
that.
buy a car. Let the grown-up speak.
We'll go with your offer.
11.5.
Thank you very much.
Oh, dear.
Thank you.
Thanks, Glenn.
11.5 grand. At least you'll spend it on something good. I am amazed about how these things have gone up. It just goes to show, when you have a car you love, don't sell it. Hang on to it. We've now got the opportunity with the one we've bought to do one properly. We can spend the right amount of money on it, do all the things I'd want to do to the car, and somebody is going to end up with a fabulous thing.